So, we're doing something different today, guys. If you're tuning in from YouTube, I am live in DC right now. All right. So, you can actually see the city in the background. I'm going to lift my laptop up so you can see the city of DC in the background. Highly encourage y'all to do that. But before we dive into today's episode, I do want to say congratulations to all the new pharmacy grads. It's incredible. It's an incredible experience. Can't believe I graduated in 2021. Only 3 years ago, I was literally in y'all's shoes walking across the aisle. So shout out to everybody that recently graduated. I am so happy for y'all. I hope you cherished it. I hope you had an incredible time with your friends and family, because trust me, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I hope you enjoyed it. Congratulations to you. Sincerely from Caps RX Podcast to y'all. I want nothing but the best for every single one of you and nothing but success. So congratulations. Now it's time to get started to the next phase, which is preparing for the NAPLEX, your MPJEs, and then getting licensed, and then start working as an active pharmacist. So I'm so excited for y'all. It's a surreal experience that you're finally done after 3 hard years or 4 years of work, depending on what type of program you did. So super excited for everybody, and shout out to y'all for persevering, going through everything, and accomplishing your dreams and your goals. Because trust me, I know it's not easy. So congratulations to y'all. Another thing I want to say is a big shout out to LeComm University. Shout out to the SNAFA organization and Adrian for connecting with me. I was able to give a presentation on NAPLEX tips, strategies, different things you can implement to ensure that you pass on the first try. That's what I want y'all to do, because the pass rates have gone down by 7%. First time pass rates are down by 7%. All right. So I really want y'all to pass. Had to give y'all some tips and strategies. So shout out to Adrian for inviting Caps RX Podcast to give a presentation at the end of the year, the last presentation for SNAFA organization. So it was an honor to meet you, honor to meet the different members of the student organization. And thank y'all for having me. And thank y'all for tuning in. I think we had maybe 10 to 12 people on a Zoom call. So thank y'all. I appreciate it, each and every single one of y'all. I appreciate the love. So now, after we got the shout outs out of the way, now that we got the congratulations out of the way, what I really want to talk to you all about is the importance of the career. I feel like when we're in pharmacy school, we spend so much time focused on getting the degree that we don't realize that's only a step to where we really need to get to. What we're really trying to do is get a job. So I feel like a lot of times we're so wrapped up with passing and getting the right test grades and doing all this stuff that we fail to realize the real goal is to get a job as a licensed pharmacist. That's actually the goal. The goal is not to get a 4.0 GPA. The goal is to get a job, is to start working, start earning income, being able to provide for you and your family, and start doing the thing that you are so passionate about doing, which is being a pharmacist, being a licensed pharmacist. So one of the things that has been brought up recently while talking amongst some pharmacy students that I know is that they're all telling me they're waiting to apply for jobs once they get licensed. No, do not do that. Bad idea. The reason being is most people are thinking like you. You want to think different. If you're thinking like all your other classmates and are going to apply for jobs once you're a licensed pharmacist, that means everybody is going to be applying for jobs in June/July/August. So that means you probably have somewhere between 60 to 120 pharmacy students that you probably graduated with. So you want to compete with every single one of them? Why? You got to be smart. You got to think outside the box. You tune into Caps RX Podcast so you don't have to be like everybody else. So one of the things I would recommend that you do is actually start applying for jobs now, today, in May. Because if you have an interview, you get an interview and you kill that interview, you do an incredible job, guess what? Now you're good. Now you have a job opportunity lined up. They'll probably give you a deadline to get licensed, but you have something lined up instead of getting licensed first and then going to look for a job, just like everybody else. this episode really came about because I was talking to some of the pharmacy interns where I work, and they're like, yeah, I think I would like to stay on. I'm like, well, does management know? I think they know. No, 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 no. It's either they do know or they don't know. There's no, I think they know. If you think they know, then they don't know. So you need to let them know so they do know. Did you catch that? I can't repeat it because I don't know what I just said. I can't repeat it. But what I'm basically trying to say is, if you think management knows your intentions, they don't. So if you're a pharmacy intern and you're currently working somewhere and you would like to be hired on, you need to express that interest to management and let them know, hey, I would love to work here, either as a full-time, part-time, or per diem pharmacist. You need to let them know that. They can't read your mind. They don't know your intentions. You need to tell them what they are. And so this is how this episode really came about, was through conversations with pharmacy interns. So one, you need to let your job know, what are your intentions? Do you want to be hired on or do you not? Do you want a full-time position? Do you want a part-time? Because there could be job positions opening up, but if you don't let them know that you're interested, they're going to start doing external searches instead of internal searches, instead of the in-house thinking that, hey, these pharmacy interns want to stay here and be here. So you need to let the place that you're working at know if you really want to be there or not. Because if you don't let them know, then they don't know your intentions. And your intentions is to actually get a job. It's not to just get a degree. It's to get a job. So that's why I wanted to talk to you all, because now is the time to apply. I'm telling you, everybody's going to apply in June, July, August. Right now, it's today's May 12th. It's Mother's Day. So this episode will probably come out May 13th. You're ahead of the game if you start applying now. I understand you don't have your license. I understand you probably need to rev up your CV, but this is an opportunity that you cannot let slip by. You have to apply early, because one, if you apply now and you start getting interviews, maybe that first interview you get, you don't do the best, but now you know the type of questions they'll ask in a job interview. So for your next interview or your third interview, you're ready and you're prepped and you're able to do a lot better to secure a job. That's what it's really all about, is being able to secure a job, right? You didn't go to pharmacy school to just get a degree. You went to pharmacy school to also work as a pharmacist. So that's something I wanted to definitely stress. Right now is the time to apply. Do not delay. Do not wait. If you're working at a place, let them know that you have interest of coming on as either a full-time, part-time, or per diem pharmacist. Because if you don't let them know, and job opportunities are starting to come about, or they have something coming up in a couple of months where we need to hire a new pharmacist, they're going to look for external candidates. And now you are going to go up against people who have more experience, who might have done a PGY1 or a PGY2, who have done more things than you have. So now is the time to apply. Another thing I wanted to discuss is, if you are listening to this and you applied for a residency and you did not match, you weren't able to match phase 1 or phase 2 or through the scramble, but you still have a passion for clinical pharmacy, you still want to be in the hospital setting, then this is that episode for you. This is the content that you need. So I'm going to give you exactly what I would do if I was in your shoes. I don't even have any notes written, but I know this is the stepwise process that I would take, because I'm putting myself in your shoes. I'm literally going to put myself in your shoes. So the first thing that I would do, if I was in your shoes, I apply to these places, I did not match, I did not get a job, but I still want to work in a hospital setting. The very first thing that I would do is start looking up nearby hospitals, but smaller hospitals, not big ones. The reason why is usually a lot of the bigger hospital systems, they require a residency. So it might be a lot harder to get a job. Not saying you can't apply for it, you can, but I want to focus my energy on a lot of the smaller hospitals. So let's say you live in a big city like Orlando. You might be able to find a smaller hospital outside of Orlando in an area like Ocala. Now, I'm sure wherever you live, there's a big city. Let's say you live in a big city. There might be some smaller cities on the outskirts of where you live. It might be a 35 to an hour drive to get there, But you better be willing to make those sacrifices if you want to get a clinical job. And if I were you, I would probably try to get a per diem position. So I'm really I'd probably go to Indeed.com. Indeed is my favorite site to look for jobs. So I go to Indeed.com, make sure my CV is up to par, upload my CV to Indeed, and then start looking for job opportunities within a certain mile radius that is drivable for me. You got to determine that. Maybe it's 15, 20, 30 miles, whatever it is. You got to determine that, but you have the capability and Indeed to search for jobs within a mile radius. So I would do that and I would look for the smaller hospitals to see if they have any opportunities. And if they do, whether it's full-time or part-time, I would probably try to get a per diem position first. I know what you're thinking. You want the benefits. You want to do all that. I'm not saying you shouldn't. The reason why I recommend per diem is because that will give you the opportunity to show your work ethic and show who you are as a person. And guess what? If you're doing an amazing job as a per diem pharmacist, then guess what? They will probably open up a full-time or part-time position for you. And you could probably get paid a little bit more than you would have because you're able to do more of a negotiation than you would have been able to do if you just came right out of school. If it was me, I'd search for a per diem. But if you really need those health benefits, because that might take 5-6 months before you can get that part-time or full-time position. But if you want a full-time or part-time, search for that, apply for that. I get it. Do it. You got to focus on you and what's best for you. But I'm telling you, there's something to being able to get a full-time position, there's something about getting a per diem position and really working your butt off to impress those managers that when it comes back around to when they have a part-time or full-time, they'll probably give it to you and you'll probably be able to ask for a little bit of a pay raise. So if I were you and I was in your shoes, number one thing, I'm searching for smaller hospitals within your area. I'm going to go ahead and apply. And I'm going to make sure, hopefully, I can get a per diem position, show them my clinical skills, show them my work ethic, show them my interest, let them know everything. Soak up as much information as you can. Do as much as you can. Impress them. And if you do that, I guarantee you, you will have a full-time or part-time position on you. It's not that complicated. Go to Indeed.com, search for nearby hospitals in your area that are smaller hospitals that are hiring, because the smaller hospitals usually, not all the time, but usually they are the locations that will hire somebody without a residency. Another thing you can do is look for hospitals that don't have a residency program, because if they don't have a residency program, then they will probably hire somebody without a residency. It's not rocket science. I'm here to simplify and make it easy for you. So you need to make sure your CV is up to date. If they ask for a letter of intent, make sure you write a powerful letter of intent. Make sure to see everything that they need in the job description. Try to get that per diem gig and just work your butt off. I am telling you, it is impactful. I am telling you, it is powerful. That's what I would do. That's it. You ain't got to do too much. I'm telling you, you don't have to do too much. If I was in your shoes and I did not match with a residency program, and I still really wanted to work in a clinical job, I would start applying immediately. I go to Indeed. I search a certain mile radius that I'm willing to drive. I'm searching for smaller hospitals and hospitals that do not have a residency program. I'm going to apply there like a madman. I'm talking, I will apply to 20, 30, 40 places, okay? You might only get callbacks from 5 or 10. Do not be discouraged. Please do not be discouraged. Like even with myself when it came to residency, I was finishing up a residency and I was applying to jobs. I probably applied to like 50 to 60 places. Maybe only had like 10 or 15 places reach back out to me and ended up with about 10 interviews. Don't be discouraged. There's nothing to be upset about. Just apply. The opportunities will come. But the first thing you have to do is apply. And in order for you to apply, you have to make sure your CV is up to par. If they ask for a letter of intent, make sure your letter of intent's up to par, because that's what they're going to see. That's the first impression, is the CV. Now, if you're unable to get a job by applying, another thing I would encourage you to do is reach out to your network. Guess what? If you're a fan of Capsule RX Podcast, I'm part of your network. DM me. You never know who I might know. I might know pharmacists in your area. Reach out to your preceptors. See if they know if any hospitals are hiring or if they have any per diem positions. Utilize your network. There's a reason why in pharmacy they say networking is key. Trust me, it's a very small world in pharmacy. A very, very small world. So I would highly encourage you to definitely reach out to your network. Reach out to your preceptors. Maybe even reach out to your colleagues, because they might know somebody. I'm telling you, they might know somebody who's hiring. And that could be a benefit to you. So you don't want to always go at things alone. Reach out to your network. Reach out to the different people you know, and they might be able to assist you in finding the career that you desire. The other thing you can do is also reach out to your academic advisors. You don't know who they know. So I'm telling you, mentors, advisors, previous preceptors, there could be opportunities that you are just not aware of or haven't even been released on Indeed yet. And they can kind of get your shoe in to getting a possible position. So if you really want to work, you really want to be a licensed pharmacist, and you want to get to work at a hospital setting, it's not that complicated. Apply like a madman on Indeed. Search for those per diem positions. Search for those smaller hospitals or hospitals that don't have a residency program, because you're more likely to get an interview from one of them, because they're not looking for residency trained individuals. So that's something that I would highly recommend that you look into. Another thing, like I said, is looking at the networking, looking at the different people that have helped you along the way. So your teachers, your advisors, your preceptors on rotation. So different people that can attest to your clinical knowledge, different people that can attest to your work ethic, and maybe even reach out to friends. Reach out to me. You never know who I may know. These are all opportunities that I want you to do. But the one thing I don't want you to do is wait. Do not wait until you're licensed to search for a job, because then you'll be competing against way too many people. If you see a job posting right now, apply to it, because I'm telling you, it's going to take at least 1 to 2 months till probably you can actually work there, which is perfect timing, because you still got to go take your MPJE and you still got to go take your NAPLUGs. It's perfect timing, because you're going to have to go through the background check. You're going to have to go probably get some testing, some labs, all that stuff. You're going to have to do a bunch of stuff on the backside before starting the position. Then you have to figure out, when does their orientation start? So if they're putting up a job posting now, they probably want to get you in 1 to 2 months, which is perfect timing right now if you're in May, because that means you'll probably be licensed by July, which was when I was licensed, and you can get right to work. So the time is now. What are you waiting for? Sign up today at tinyurl.com/CapsuleRx services if you need help with your CV review. If you need help with a mock interview prep. Literally, I built this platform to be a resource to you all. I'm trying to help make things easy. I'm literally putting the pieces together for you. So now all you got to do is just a little bit of effort. And I promise I can help guide you to where you want to be. I can help coach you to where you want to be. So this episode's short. I just want to get right to the point. Apply now. Don't wait. If you want to be a licensed pharmacist, you didn't match with residency. You didn't match phase 1, phase 2. You didn't match in the scramble. So the time is now. Apply like a madman. The opportunities will start coming. Build up your interview experience. Edit that CV and go be a licensed pharmacist. Get to work. So the time is now. Apply now. Don't wait. Thank you guys so much for listening. I greatly appreciate it. If there's anything I can do, you know where to find me at @new_CapsuleRx podcast on all platforms. And if you recently graduated, please DM me, tag me in your photos, send me your photos. I love seeing it. If you're a fan of the podcast, let me know how we've helped you get to this point in graduating. I love seeing it. Thank y'all for listening.